This super quick little talk is called Ask the Proper Questions. And this very much pertains to this really incredibly unique time we're living in right now. Because things the way they used to work, they do not work this way anymore. Now is a different time and requires a different approach. And language is more important. And that covers slang as well. Language is more important than anybody could possibly imagine. So when trying to gain an understanding of something, by asking questions, it's really important to ask the proper kind of question. Now, when I threw this title up there, I was actually thinking of God, believe it or not, and I want to go with that, and we'll add more in a second. Because I'm a decades-long student and seeker, and I want to know everything and how everything works. It might be a form of madness. You never know. This subject matter to me, ask the proper questions, is really, really important. So I'm putting this up there so you can at least see what I'm seeing. As this pertains to God, I was a person who wants to get to the bottom of God. And a long time ago, this is decades ago, a long time ago, I realized asking who is God was like a dog chasing their tail. You go around in circles and circles and circles and circles, and you deal and dabble and fool around with all stuff in religion, when in fact God is way giantly, massively, stupendously larger than religion in total. Okay? In total. That means for many thousands of years, God is way larger than that. So the real question I had to ask was not who is God, because that just takes me down this religion, that religion, all the religions, whatever, who cares? But really the question I had to begin asking is, what is God? You see the differences in those two questions? And because we are four-component beings living in a four-component environment called planet Earth, greetings humans, then the answers to questions are not always coming in an academia form. As a matter of fact, most of the time they're not coming in an academia form. Some of the questions, like the kind of questions I ask, the really big questions they've been asking for thousands of years, some of those questions are literally coming from some other place. And we can get answers to that because we're dealing with the kingdom, which is part of the four-component makeup of this planet. Let me throw the words of Jesus Christ at you again. And I know I've used this before in other recordings, but I really like it because it really makes the point of the four components. So I use it quite a bit. But let me use it again. This is Luke 21. Wait, hold on. 17th chapter. So Luke 17:21. And the Christ was a big, giant advocate of teaching the kingdom. Let that one sink in for a moment, okay? I'm going to throw this one at you from the King James Version just because I've read it so many times it's kind of plugged into my head. Neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there. For lo, the kingdom of God is within you. And some translations say, the kingdom of heaven is within you. But I hope you get the point. Now, would that little piece of info been gained unless the proper questions were being asked from this guy that was a real live master? Think of the Eastern world. Okay, it's way different than the Western world when it comes to the idea of master. Way different than the Western world when it comes to the idea of four-component life, human life. Greetings, earthlings. They were trying to hold his feet to the fire, and they were asking about the kingdom because he was really big on running around teaching the kingdom. That's kind of hard to find today. what he was saying about it anyway. Today it's turned into something else. But that's just one quick example of ask the proper questions. Think about the mechanics and the physics of questions for just a moment. What are questions really? Questions are things that humans use to further their foundation, to probe, to understand, to know something much better and get a good grasp on it so the mind gets a hold of it and they can go from there. A solid foundation requires that the mind wrap around something, that it be fully understood, probed high and low, and be fully understood. And why do we need to understand something in depth? Doesn't matter what it is. It could be internal kung fu. It could be cabinet making. It could be working on your engine. It could be certain aspects of soil with gardening. It could be anything. Why do we need this? Because humans have another trait that is inherent in every single one of them, and that is that all of us down here on this planet have to navigate our lives, whether we like it or not. And if we don't have a solid foundation, how are we going to navigate our lives really good? Humans and planetary system are four-component things. Created, devised, and designed this way. Think about that for a second. They're designed this way. We're designed to be forced into navigation. Some of us are good at navigating. Some of us are horrible at navigating. But very few of us come here already preloaded to navigate all kinds of stuff you have to pick up on stuff to be able to navigate. That's what questions are really for. Boil it down. Ask yourself, what are questions really for? Well, this is what questions are really for. So when you want to get that and tie it to navigation, isn't it a good idea to use proper questions for ascertainment of a deep understanding and a foundation, because you actually have to navigate whether you like it or not. And these are crazy times. These times are like no other times. These times are so different that all the old rules, man, you might as well just go, okay, well, we need to scrap some of these old rules because they don't apply. The societies are, it's like a rumble in the jungle. Okay, I'll say no more. Anyway, that's just a very quick, a little bit of thought on that. That's how important it is, okay? Oh yeah, let me throw this in real quick. There are a lot of places, a lot of areas where people live, where the internal workings of that particular space of the society make it so that people frown upon questions, as if even asking questions makes you some sort of rebel. Why? Every one of us has experienced this. This is actually a tactic of the institutions to make sure nobody rocks the boat. And it's part of the doctrinal dogmas to make sure nobody rocks the boat. I say, ask the proper questions. You don't need to be rude about it, mean about it, tough about it, any of that, but ask the proper questions. You have to navigate. And if you find that people are getting down on you for that, understand why they themselves have been implanted with those ideas. So we'll see you in the next one. Adios.